Okay, this assignment has two parts, okay? And I need to explain this. I don't have any graph paper at my disposal. I used it all, and I want to make this video now, so let me explain it. If I graph these on the same plane, right here, MB, MB, they would be parallel. The reason they would be parallel is because they have the same M, so same slope. Okay, now if we would graph these two, MB, MB, they would be perpendicular. They would cross, but they would cross so that, and they would form a 90-degree angle. Now the reason why is because if you can compare them, -1/2 and 2/1, they're reciprocals. And one is positive, one is negative, okay? Also, when you multiply the m's of the two lines, -1 ABC2 times 2/1, you get -1. They always, if the lines are perpendicular, the slope's always multiplied to -1, okay? So parallel lines is the same slope. Perpendicular means they're reciprocated and the signs are the opposite. We did that last year. Okay, now we're writing equations. Write an equation in slope, intercept form that, and then we start our examples. Example 1. Parallel to y equals 3x plus 2 through 2, 3. It's essentially the same process you were doing in the last assignment. You will know the m right away on a parallel. MB. Now, look at this equation here. Make a line. The y would have to be by itself, which it is. So I label MB. Ditch your B. You have no use for that plus 2. I don't want to see it. Okay? When parallel perpendicular, you don't worry about the B in the original equation. But parallel means the slopes are the same. So if that M is 3, so does this one. Okay? And then in this equation, we also need the solution 2, 3. So y equals m times x plus b. So my m is replaced with 3, and then 3 for y, 2 for x. So equals, you got 3b plus 6. Minus 6, minus 6, -3 is b. So that's your answer, y equals 3x plus -3. Again, you know that these are parallel because they have the same m. They'll have different b's. That's why I don't even pay attention to the b there. Okay, example 2. Parallel to y equals -3/2x plus 6 through -6, 3. So this equation I'm going to write has to have that as a solution. It has to be parallel to this line. MB, so we're good. So y equals blank x plus blank MB. My M is parallel, okay, so I use the same M I see there. So -3/2. Y equals m times x plus b. So my m is -3/2. 3. Remember, get rid of the plus 6. You don't even care about that. I don't care if that's 1,000. I know I don't use it. So 3. Then we have b. -3/2 times -6 is 9. Then I minus my 9. -6 equals b. Now I'm going to switch the game in the third example. Now it says it's perpendicular to y equals 1/2 x minus 1 through -2, 3. Okay, so MB. So go while you're, by the way, if that y wasn't by itself, I'd have to rewrite it so it is by itself, but it's B. Quick, get rid of your B, you don't need it, okay? Now don't put 1/2 because now you're not parallel, you're perpendicular. What you need to do first is if that M is positive, I have to have a negative down here. They have to be opposites. And then flip it to 2/1. Now if you have a 1 on the bottom, you can get rid of it. So it's just -2. Now to quick see if you're doing it right, take the M here times the M here and see if they give you a product of -1. They do, okay? Perpendicular M's always have multiply to -1. And then y equals M times x plus B. So M is -2. Don't use that, use your M. And then 3 for y, -2 for x. So 3b plus 4 minus 4, -1 equals b. If I had to graph this and this on the same plane, they would cross at a 90-degree angle. Okay, another perpendicular problem. Perpendicular to y equals 5x plus 4 and -5, 6. Get the plus 4 out. You don't need that. Okay. I'm going to say that on every problem because people think they got to do something with it. You don't. That could say plus 2 million. Okay. Okay, so the M, we're talking perpendicular, so that's positive, we have to make it negative. Now make that a fraction by putting it over 1, and then we would flip it, ours, to 1/5. Okay, so -1/5. Now quick, multiply -1/5 by 5/1. I guarantee you it's, or just 5, it's -1. They should multiply to -1. Okay, then y equals M times x plus b. So the M, -1/5, 6 for y, -5 for x. Line up the equals, you got -6. Then I go -1/5 times 5, -5, 1. So that would be b plus 1. Then you're working over here, -1. -7 equals b. Okay, example 5. Now we're back to parallel, and I'm switching back, so when you do the assignment you will pay attention and realize whether it's parallel or perpendicular. 2, -1. Okay. So MB. Okay, MB, get rid of the B, you don't care about that. Now it's back to parallel, so we just write down 5. Okay. Then y equals M times x plus B. It's always how to figure out B. So M is the 5 that I have, and then -1, and then times 2. -1 equals, then write your B down, plus 10. Minus 10, that looks a lot better than 10 plus b. I want the variable first. And that's -11. So that's your answer. Y equals 5x plus -11. These two would be parallel. They would start in different places, but they would rise by this. They both go up 5/1. Okay. Parallel to y equals 9x through the court, and we got to have 0, -5. m's the slope, b's the y-intercept. Wall that y, it's by itself, so you got your m. Now your b would be 0, but we don't even care about the b, so it's just as well that it's not there. Parallel, I use 9. Okay, copy it down. Then y equals m times x plus b. Okay, so 9 is my m, negative 5 is my y, 0. This is going to be easy because you're going to have b. 9 times 0 is 0, so you can just leave it. You already have your answer, negative 5. Y equals 9x plus negative 5 is the answer. Perpendicular to y equals negative 3x plus 7 through 3, 5. Okay? So m, b. M's the slope, b's the y-intercept. Okay, y is by itself, so mb, get rid of the b there. Now you're back to perpendicular, so you don't just write negative 3. If that's a negative, yours is going to be positive. And you also need to make that a fraction and then flip it, okay, to 1/3. So 1/3 is my perpendicular slope. Now quick, take 1/3 times negative 3 over 1. Negative 1 should be. Perpendicular slopes always give you a product of negative 1. Then y equals m times x plus b. So 1/3 is my m, not the negative 3. 5 and 3. 1/3 times 3 is 1, or put b down first, then plus 1. Then minus 1, and that's 4. I don't want you to put 1 plus b because we're going to have people that divide by 1. So just put b and then the plus whatever it is, so 4. Okay, last one. Perpendicular to y equals 8x minus 1 through 4, 10. So y equals blank x plus blank mb. MB, ditch the minus 1. Now you're talking perpendicular, so you got to change the sign on the 8 to negative. Then you make the 8 over 1 and flip it to 1/8. Okay, so negative 1/8 is my slope. Then y equals m times x plus b. So negative 1/8 is my slope. And then 10 for y times 4 for x. Put your b down. Negative 1/8 times 4 is negative 1/2. Okay, so minus 1/2. Then you add 1/2, and that's 10 and 1/2. So am I stressing about the fraction? Not really. Okay. Okay, pause the video, do 1 through 4, and then resume the video when we get to the back side.